All right, everyone, it is Flex Friday. Let's go ahead and get into the top prop bets for today on PrizePicks. But first, I do want to do a quick recap from yesterday. And so this is the pain for me, guys, as someone that gives you guys content, where Scoot Henderson got his over fantasy score at 21.5. But I think it was like, I got a comment like 10 minutes after the video was posted saying, hey, it got bumped. Is he still a good prop bet at 22.5? And he was, but he just missed out. Is, you know, that slight edge. And that's the tough part about giving props content, is that it literally, that can be the difference between a profitable day and an not profitable day. And it's always painful for me when that happens. What's funny is that they ended up taking the bet off the board because it was such a good bet. Just a weird day for the Scoot Henderson prop, but very tilted in that regard. But picks wise, we continue to crush it. Still only 4 days thus far in 2024 where the picks have went under 50% on the day, where the bet of the day has went under 50% on the day. I mean, just an insanely good 2024 thus far. Hopefully you guys have been able to take advantage of that. And I preface that because today is looking ugly. Now, obviously we don't have any NBA today going on right now because, well, All-Star break and whatnot. It's going to be a very limited board. We are getting some PGA props, some NHL props, some college basketball props I'm going to touch on, and we have some esports props as well. Now, real quickly, before I get into the prop apps, I just want to call out that, guys, go ahead and subscribe to my 9 to 5 Golf YouTube channel. That would just be a big help to me. I'm really trying to push this as a separate segment in my YouTube content, but also I do have a 9 to 5 Golf specific Twitter channel. So I know some people have been kind of wondering where the golf content is. It's going to be on Twitter there, and it's going to also be on the 9 to 5 Golf YouTube channel. Now, that being said, I'm still going to cover golf on this channel, just not as like in depth as I would on the 9 to 5 YouTube golf channel, just as an FYI. So like today, right now, and we can see the lines that we are getting today are much better across the board. So like Underdog, we clearly saw that they were overvaluing a lot of the golf prop bets. And I called that out on the Wednesday video. I was able to mix and match my way to a very good round one for PGA props betting. And now today they kind of went the exact opposite way, where the lines that they're giving us are more correct. So still a little bit too high. The event average over the past 2 years has been about, for GERs at least right here, we can see it's been about 9.81 GERs hit per round. And so we'll see, for example, the live prop average, which is taking into account round one, how many greens in regulation were hit on average by, the players, 10.13. So we can still see that on average, the underdog lines are too high, but we can clearly see that these prop lines on PrizePicks are too high. Now, I don't know exactly when this video is going to come out. Typically it's about 20 minutes after I get done recording, which as I'm speaking right now will be probably 25 minutes or so, so maybe a couple of these golfers have locked, but if they're not, these top three, Tom Kim, Hideki, and Wyndham Clark for their greens in regulation, those three are all being a little bit too overvalued for PrizePicks right now. So I'd be perfectly happy to run those out for overbets, for underbets on PrizePicks at 11.5. Now, will they hit? Tough to say for sure. There's a lot of data that goes into this. We can look at like strokes gained, the live stats for them. And what we can look at as well is like looking at their live stats for like greens and regulation here. We can see Hideki and Tom Kim had good days, but we can see right now as well in terms of greens and regulations hits, Tom Kim might be someone that does better because, and I'm getting way too deep into golf for you guys here. This is why I create a separate golf channel, right? But looking at it, like his live season stat rank is 41, where his live stat rank for greens and regulation hit is 10th this tournament. So he is someone that should get slightly worse. Like if he misses one more green, that wouldn't be too shocking. So again, I kind of said that weird. So his season stat rank is 41st in the field. Okay. His live stat rank is 33rd in the field. So that is something that should get a little bit worse. We flip this around, we're going to see that Wyndham Clark basically even keel with the field. Okay, so him getting 10 again, likely to happen. And then Hideki was a little bit actually better than he typically is. So he's someone where the under does make sense as well. So that's my long way of saying we have three good, seemingly good golf props today. Let's go ahead and jump into college basketball. And so we're not going to get that many good college basketball props. It's an extremely limited slate that we are getting. So right now, let's just call it the ones that we have. We have one decent one here. Okay, that's going to be Hargrove Jr. for under his fantasy score, but we can see not a big edge here really at all. Okay, looking at it right now, the average sportsbook line would have this set at 18.5, 18.6, I guess, and they'd be favoring the under there. But PrizePicks has this set at 19.95, so a slightly better bet there. But I think using Scoot Henderson as an example as to why the slight differences, the slight nuances, if you are someone that bets on both sides, that little difference between, that's 0.4 difference there or so, that can literally be the difference between hitting a bet and not hitting a bet. So yes, if you are someone that is betting on Underdog and PrizePicks, much better bet there. But we might be forced to use this on our Flex Friday slip because they're trying to give us free money. Let's make the best bet that we can possible with that. And then from there, again, not that many great prop bets. We are seeing one here where I'm not exactly sure why Underdog has bumped the PRA up for LAD here, but we can see, looking at the PrizePicks line is set at 28.5, the average sportsbook line is set at 28.5. They are, kind of favoring the over at about 53% or so. The projection data likes them to get the over as well, so that's also a decent bet given the data that we have there, but again, not a great bet. And then jumping into NHL, let's go ahead and adjust the sliders so we're only pulling the prop bets that we want to see. And yeah, so guys, you see the board. It's an extremely tight board for hockey as well. They had a ton of games yesterday, not that many going on today. So with that, let's go and jump into the discrepancies. This is a tab that I very rarely like to get into because, well, there's just not that big of edges there, typically speaking. And right now that's going to be the case as well. So tennis, we got maybe one where the total games is off by one. Probably should be 21.5 based off of what we're seeing here. So if you want to bet the under on PrizePicks there, you can, but just not that big of an edge there really at all in terms of prop line differences. We are getting this one, and I think this one is huge for tennis. Okay, so bet the over aces here because that should not be happening. And you could also do that with this one, Francis Tiafoe, where the line shouldn't be more than one, especially when they're that low. So those are going to be two really good tennis props that we are getting. I'm perfectly happy to run those out. I was hoping we would get more esports bets, but I did this video a little bit too late for that. Some of them have already went live. And then just real quick, I do want to just touch on these ones as well. We are getting some weird props currently for strokes. Now, we're not going to really bet Scotty to get, we're not touching this, but in terms of edges here, I do think we are getting some slight edges for the strokes-based props. It's going to be better on Underdog. I just want to call that out, specifically like Matt Fitzpatrick, Colin Morikawa. Well, sorry, these prop line differences like Colin Morikawa. It's a better bet there, but we look at the event average and the tournament average. Typically, this is an event where 71 is the average strokes, okay? And so we're seeing all these players where it's not at 71. And so maybe a slight edge there. The data's telling us that there's an edge there, and it wouldn't be surprising to see this tournament play more difficult. Let's go on and get into the bet of the day for Flex Friday. Hopefully these prop bets are all there for you guys come lineup lock. So this is going to be my Flex Friday slip. I've already placed this prop bet because while the promo is live, we always sometimes have to wait for the promo to go live. So I've already used this one here for that promo, and I probably will be doing a slight hedge where on Underdog I'll just run out these for less aces because again these have a huge prop line difference currently, and then I'll be doing more greens and regulation on Underdog for those two as well, just because again might as well just like one unit bet there. I'm going to do the Flex Friday slip here. Slight hedge. Obviously, we want to go 4 for 4, but I might just run this out on Underdog, these four collectively, and do an insured slip as well, just because, again, we're writing a Flex Friday slip out. Might as well run a similar one where we're chasing these projected edges. And guys, this is exactly why I have the tools that I do available on the site. Like obviously we want to be chasing lines that give us the best chance to hit, but not every single slate are we going to have great prop bets. Sometimes we have to go with this middling and make our best decisions possible based off of that. And that's what we are doing today. So good luck today on Flex Friday. If you guys want access to the tools, head on over to 9to5sports.com, give a like and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate that. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.